All right, so now we'll measure up top here. Same thing, put it into the hole, and the air is coming this way, up. So I want the arrow to go down. Today we're going to test this new MrCool that we just put in, and we want to test its efficiency. And what we're doing is measuring the airflow with this manometer on both ends of it, add those together, it'll give us a value, and that value will determine how much cubic feet of air is moving in the entire system. This was set at one level from the factory. I've already changed it once. I'm trying to dial it in. But first we gotta go turn the unit on and get the air moving. So they start off slow and they build over time. And so we're gonna give it a couple minutes just to get to regular speed. Then we'll do our measurement. All right, so there's the hole that we drilled into the top of the ductwork just above the top of the unit. And I drilled a new hole because there was an interference right there. So this hole right before the filter slot, which is right there. So we got that. We want to be as close to the bottom and as close to the top as possible, so we're getting a good air measurement. When I put this in, you notice that has a little red arrow there, and it aligns with where the probe is pointing. And I want to point this in that direction. That's where the air is coming from, returning and going up through this. So put the probe in there. And we ordered this manometer. We'll have a link in the description below. We had to order the probe separate. It didn't come with one. So just FYI, something to look at. And so now we're going to turn this to about there, and we can kind of rotate it around. And it does jump around a bit. 10, 11, 12 is kind of the range that it's been given me. Nothing higher than 12, so we'll just say that's 11. There's 12. So we're testing that hole, and you want to add these two numbers together. So 0.11 or 0.12. All right, so now we'll measure up top here. Same thing, put it into the hole, and the air is coming this way, up. So I want the arrow to go down to face the wind. And then you can just see, we'll just kind of see what gives us the greatest measurement. 10, 11, 12 is kind of where we're sitting. So 11, so we'll say both of those are at about 11, 0.11. So 0.11 and 0.11 is 0.22, and that's our measurement. Now we can go to the tables and check out what we have. So after you take those measurements, if you want to change your setting, you're going to take this panel off. And there are, was it 9 screws all the way around this? Or was it 8? Yeah, let's see, 6. This one has 7. Plus these two up here, because the top part here, this piece lifts up and then it lets out. This piece here just tilts forward. All right, so now that you're into this, you got to get inside this is the next piece. And this is just 3 screws. And then again, lift up here, pull this forward, and that comes out. Now, before you do anything in here, hit the breaker and turn this off, because you don't want to be touching anything in the circuitry here accidentally and shorting it all out. So turn your breaker off, either at the main panel or right there. So we're up here in this upper corner. That's your blower motor. That's the intake, and there's your outflow out of there. And I'll show you, this is really a lot of fun to get to. What we're trying to do is get and zoom in on those little tiny boards right there, those little tiny dip switches. And setting those to the right numbers gives you your speed of the fan. It says SA2 up in that corner and SA1 right down there. It's hard to see. And this is really hard. You have to do it with a very small screwdriver, and I use my phone to actually be able to see because these things are so incredibly tiny. That box right there is probably about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch big. It's very small. And that's the setting that I have set for this. Just the right airflow coming out the top and just the right airflow coming into the bottom. And that's what you would change. Ours from the factory came as defaulted with these dip switches were set a certain way, and these were all set to 0. And I'm not really sure why, because the guy at MrCool said these should mirror each other. So now they're set the same way. Nonetheless, that's where you make your changes. And then you have to assemble everything back. We got to put the cover back on this case, put the cover right here, put it all together. Then we'll turn the unit on again and check the airflow one more time. And you just do that till you get it set right. So once you get it all back together, make sure you've got it turned on and let it run again for a couple minutes. Make sure it's all the way up to speed. Then go ahead and recheck your measurements to make sure it aligns with the table. Here are the tables that they gave us, and so you can reference this. MrCool is super helpful in getting this information. So there's your dip switch table, and there's your fan speed table. Here's the chart of all the settings. And over here you have your model numbers. And this is a 2-ton, 3-ton, 4-ton, 5-ton. So you find the unit that, say you have a 3-ton unit, so you find those are where all your numbers are. And then it's at default, this is 0, 0. And so those are in the on position. And then 1 and 1, those are in the opposite position. And this is on SA2, that's the heat side. And this is SA1, and that's the cool side. And this whole section here, the MrCool guy was telling me that they don't set theirs to 0, but the chart is that way anyway. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, but we made it the same on both sides. And then here's your actual fan speeds. So again, here's your 2-ton, 3-ton, 4-ton, and 5-ton. So for every ton, there's 400 cubic feet per minute that should be flowing. So for a 2-ton, you're looking at 800. For a 3-ton, you're looking at 1,200 cubic feet per minute. And so your pressure ranges in the 800s should be in this area here. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, somewhere in that area. And if you got 1,200 cubic feet per minute, then you're looking for the 1,200s, and so you're going to be in. So you're looking at that number there, this number there, this number there. You're trying to, or somewhere in between those two numbers. Are your pressures totaling 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.4 or what? And then that'll help you discern which directions you're going in. Whether you have it set at 2 tons or 3 tons, or if you have a 4 or 5 ton unit, they have all the measurements for all the units on that table, which is really helpful. The reason we're doing this, the reason we're checking these measurements is because from the factory it's set at a default, but your ductwork that runs through your house may or may not be ideal. There may be some blockages, there may be some things that are restricting the flow of your air movement, so it might be different in your place. And that's why it's good to do this check to make sure, by taking both the outflow and the inflow, combining that measurement, you're going to know whether or not your unit is set up efficiently. If you don't have a hole on your furnace in your ductwork at the top and at the bottom, that probably means your system has never been checked, which I'm finding out is all too common. So it's worth doing just to know that your air handler, your AC, your heat pump is set up efficiently. Hope this video helps. Thanks a lot for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that for us. It really helps. And we'll see you in the next video.